My name is Aline. I am 32 years old. People think my life is perfect. My husband buys me diamonds. He opens doors for me. He calls me his queen in front of everyone. When we walk into a room, people look at us with admiration. They whisper, "She is so lucky." They see my elegant dresses. They see our large house with tall windows and a beautiful garden. They see a successful husband and a smiling wife. But they do not see the truth. They do not see me crying quietly at night. They do not hear the silence between us at breakfast. They do not know that every morning I wake up feeling trapped. My life looks like a dream, but it feels like a prison, a beautiful, golden prison. And today, I will tell you my secret. I have a perfect husband, but I do not love him. 7 years ago, I was a different person. I was 25 years old. I was an artist. Painting was my entire world. I lived in a small old house with my father, Daniel. The house was simple. The walls needed paint, and the roof made noises when it rained. But it was warm and full of love. My father believed in me more than anyone. Every evening he sat beside me while I painted. He would smile and say, "One day, people will know your name." We were not rich, but we were happy. Then, one winter, my father became sick. At first, it seemed small. Just a cough, just tiredness. But the sickness grew worse. Hospitals replaced our peaceful evenings. Machines replaced laughter. One morning, the doctor spoke softly, and my world ended. My father passed away. I remember standing in the empty house after the funeral. His chair was still by the window. His coffee cup was still on the table. The silence felt unbearable. I felt completely alone. A week later, men knocked on my door. They wore dark suits and serious faces. One man spoke firmly. "Your father had a large debt with the bank." I stared at him, confused. Debt? My father never told me. They explained that if I could not pay, the house would be taken. My father's house, the only place where I still felt close to him. I had no job, no savings, no family to help me. After they left, I sat on the floor and cried until my body hurt. I thought I would lose everything. That was the moment Adrian entered my life. Adrian was my father's business partner. He was 33 years old then, tall, confident, calm. He arrived quietly and listened to my situation. Unlike the others, he spoke gently. "Eileen, you don't need to be afraid," he said. "I will fix this." And he did. He paid the debt. Every single coin. He saved the house. He saved me. I looked at him with deep gratitude. I believed my father had sent him to protect me. After that day, Adrian visited often. He brought groceries. He helped with paperwork. He checked if I was eating and sleeping. For the first time after my father's death, I felt safe again. Slowly, friendship turned into closeness. Or at least, that is what I thought. 6 months later, Adrian invited me to dinner. The restaurant was beautiful. Soft music played in the background. At the end of the meal, he took out a small velvet box. Inside was a diamond ring. "Eileen," he said, "I want to take care of you forever. Marry me." My heart was quiet. There were no butterflies, no excitement, but I remembered everything he had done for me. I felt gratitude. I felt security, and I confused those feelings with love. So I smiled and said yes. I believed kindness could become love. I was wrong. Our marriage began peacefully. Adrian handled everything: bills, repairs, decisions. He often told me, "You suffered enough. Now you can rest." At first, his care felt comforting. I thought he wanted to protect me. But slowly, something changed. His protection became control. One evening, I told him I wanted to work again. I found a job advertisement for an art teacher. My eyes shined with excitement. He placed his fork down carefully and smiled. "Why work?" he asked. "I provide everything." "I want to paint again," I said softly. He laughed. "My wife doesn't need a job." I felt embarrassed, like a child asking permission. I never applied. Then came my clothes. I loved color. Bright dresses made me feel alive. One day, I opened my closet. All my clothes were gone. New designer dresses filled the space. Beautiful, but colorless. White, beige, gray. "Where are my clothes?" I asked. "I donated them," Adrian said gently. "These look more elegant." I wanted to argue, but I stayed silent. Gratitude kept my mouth closed. Years passed. One afternoon, while Adrian was at work, I found my old easel in storage. It was dusty, but it still smelled like paint and memories. I set it up in the garden. I mixed colors again. Red, blue, yellow. My heart felt awake. I painted like a child, discovering joy. Then Adrian came home early. His smile disappeared. "You look messy," he said coldly. He took the brush from my hand. "We have guests tonight." He called the maid. "Put this in the basement." I watched them carry away my easel. In that moment, something inside me broke. He didn't shout. He didn't hit me, but his control felt heavier than chains. I looked at my reflection later that night. I was beautiful, but my eyes looked empty. I whispered to myself, "Who are you?" I became the perfect wife. I smiled when expected. I wore neutral colors. I stopped painting. Life became a performance. Then came our 5th wedding anniversary. Adrian looked excited. He handed me a large envelope. Inside were plane tickets and legal documents. He had sold my father's house without asking me. "We are moving to the city," he said happily. "A new beginning." My hands trembled. That house was my last connection to my father, and he erased it with one decision. At that moment, my eyes opened. He didn't love me. He owned me. Anger replaced sadness. For 5 years, I had been asleep. Now I was awake. I knew one thing clearly. If I followed him to the new city, I would disappear forever. That evening, we hosted a farewell party. Champagne glasses sparkled. Music filled the room. Guests congratulated us. "You are so lucky, Eileen." My face hurt from smiling. Adrian stood proudly in the center of the room. He raised his glass. "We begin a wonderful new chapter tomorrow," he announced. Everyone clapped. He pulled me close and waited for me to speak. My heart pounded loudly. Boom, boom, boom. I remembered painting. I remembered my father. I remembered the girl I used to be. I stepped away. "No," I whispered. The room went silent. "I am not going," I said louder. Adrian's smile froze. "You're tired," he said. "For the first time," I answered. "I am awake." His eyes turned cold. "I saved you," he said. "Yes," I replied through tears. "But gratitude is not love." I removed the diamond ring. It felt heavy, like a chain finally breaking. I placed it on the table. "This belongs to you," I said. "My life belongs to me." And I walked out. I had nothing. No money. No plan. Only courage. The night air felt cold but fresh. For the first time in years, I could breathe deeply. Freedom felt terrifying, but real. Today, my life is simple. I rent a tiny apartment above a bakery. Every morning smells like warm bread. I work there part-time. My hands are often covered in flour. In the afternoons, I paint. Colors fill my world again. My paintings are bright and alive. Yesterday, I sold one. With that money, I bought a bright yellow dress. Not expensive, not elegant, but completely mine. Adrian tried to contact me many times. Angry messages, then sad ones. But I signed the divorce papers. I wanted freedom, not comfort. A golden cage is still a cage. Comfort without freedom is not happiness. Love does not control. Love does not erase who you are. Real love lets you grow. I lost luxury, but I found myself. And I have never been happier. Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship that looked perfect from the outside? Have you ever stayed somewhere because you felt you owed someone your life? Tell me your story in the comments. I read every message. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Share this story with someone who needs the courage to choose freedom. Thank you for listening.